And we really see ourselves right now as the next revolution in the trading industry, which is the limited risk trading. So from now on, you don't need to risk your capital, your savings, in order to really trade big with enough capital that will worth your time. When I first started to trade, even when I traded every single day, at the end of the day, I made $200, or at the end of the month, I made $200 right at the beginning of my trading with $10,000 in my broker account.
Sitting down today with Michael Katz from TradeThePool. We had a chat maybe 3 years ago about the TradeThePool prop firm. You guys are one of the only stock prop firms out there, which is kind of cool. I've been telling people to go your way for multiple years now because it's the only one out there pretty much for stocks. So Michael, good to have you back on the podcast. Good to talk about trading once again. Share some value, of course, and talk about the prop firm side of things.
Amazing. Thanks for having me, Etienne. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Tell me a bit more about what's been going on since we last spoke roughly 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was roughly 3 years ago. We did an amazing run until now. Lots change, obviously. We launched new product, new programs, evaluations, added cool features to the trading platform, automation, bunch of other stuff. And we continue to spread the word. You know, a lot of the guys that just hear about it, it's a mind-blowing to anyone that actually trading stocks, you know, not to risk your own capital. You don't have to get to put $25,000 in your broker account anymore.
So it's interesting because in terms of Forex, there's a ton of prop firms. In terms of futures, there's maybe not a ton, but some prop firms. In terms of stocks, there's not many prop firms out there. What do you think that is?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, I think the barriers just to open a prop account, right? A prop company, because you need to get the feed from the NASDAQ and from NYSE and do some licenses, a bunch of those things that usually will prevent a lot of the guys just to join in, because in Forex or future is quite easy these days. And I guess the fact that we're the only one, companies looking at it and waiting to see if this is really the next step for them as well. Because there is, like I said, there is no industry for the prop stocks traders. So in that case, I'm guessing within 6 months, not more than that, we will see more companies joining us, and we welcome everybody. Yeah, we need it.
What do you think is the difference? I know some prop firms offer stocks as CFDs, and you could still technically trade stocks, maybe not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and like a regular stock prop firms like yours?
Yeah, so we trade in real shares, no CFDs, meaning all the US traders are more than welcome to join. And this is something that definitely preventing a lot of traders in the US when it comes to trading CFDs, when other companies offer CFDs. So in our case, real shares, and that is a blessing. You don't have any different quotes or anything like that. What you get from the NASDAQ or our feed is what you get on a lot of the times in the CFD. You can actually, because it's within the house, right? You can actually change the quotes and the data, and this is not something that is available to us because we are using the data straight from the exchanges. So this is something more of legit for the traders.
Right, you've probably seen a lot of traders come and go with your prop firm. People who are trying to pass the challenge. What do you think makes it that some people are able to pass more easily than others? Is it the strategy? Is it the mindset they have when they come to the prop firm? Or what do you think makes a difference here between passing or failing a prop firm account?
Yeah, great question. I mean, first of all, we have thousands of traders coming in and out, right? They're passing evaluation, getting funded, some obviously not making it. And I always do interviews with our funded traders to actually learn from it. We post it on our social media and such. And, you know, just to get the idea of what are they doing right and teach the others that just starting on how to become better and get funded. One of the important stuff that we see is that the guys that are already coming with experience or tried a few evaluations, they will understand that they need time. They understand that they don't need to rush anything, and the market is still open. our programs, the evaluation programs, are unlimited time with unlimited time. So you can take your time, focus on the A plus setups, and actually, the guys that we see that are blowing the evaluation accounts are actually the guys that over leveraging, just trying to go for a home run. And the guys that passing it, they understand that they need to take their time actually and focus on trading and not just hitting a home run. Yeah.
Interesting. You went from having a limited time evaluation to now no time limit. Have you seen a difference in the passing rate with that change, or is it the same kind of rate now?
No, that's actually increased dramatically, and we love that because but we're really changing the industry when it comes to trading generally. Because when you're trading with a broker, and both of us have a lot of experience in trading, when you're trading with a broker, it's super hard to actually pass the challenge in that case and actually reach profitability. The industry always talk about 5% that passing and actually making money in the market. But when it comes to trading with a prop, because of all the benefits, you actually see a dramatically increase, 20-25% of guys that actually making it in the market, which is incredible. And um, once we decided to go with unlimited time, we had 30 days at the beginning. We changed it to 45 and then unlimited. The shift was amazing because now that you don't have the pressure of actually passing within those 45 days or 30 days, like I said, you can take your time. And when you take your time, you're more focused on the process and execution and not about, what, I gotta pass within those 30 days, otherwise I'm done. So on a psychological aspect of it, it gives you lots more freedom.
If you are enjoying this interview so far, then I think you'll like this one over here. I've been working on this book for a long time called Prop Trading Secrets. It's finally out. You can get it in your favorite bookstore or on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, of course. And this book is really about interviewing traders who are successful in either trading for prop firms or managing their own private fund. We talk about their background, what makes them successful, the things they went through, struggles they had to go through to become good traders now, and a lot of the good wisdom that you might not necessarily hear about, but it's all into a condensed version over here. You can read through these stories, get inspired, of course, learn a lot about what they do, their strategy as well. And we summarize everything at the end where you have a whole chapter of summaries of what these traders have in common. So if you want to check it out, 14 traders in this book that myself and Kathy Lean interviewed. There's a lot of good wisdom in this. If you like these interviews on YouTube, I'm sure you like this one for sure. Go grab it. Like I said, it's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, it's on Audible in audio version. All the other audiobook platforms will have it too, or your favorite bookstore. So check it out. If you did read it, let me know in the comment section below which one is your favorite chapter, and we'll get back to the interview. One thing I'm seeing is you have a approach of, on your website, you offer between a type of flexible account or something that's called a disciplined account. What's the difference between these two kind of trader types or account types?
Right. So on the Flex account, it's the unlimited time, which will give you enough space to work with. Once you reach the funded account, you have obviously the classic consistency rules. On the Max account, we switched it a little bit, and we are looking on the Max account mostly for those professional level traders. You have 60 days to pass, so it's not unlimited so it's limited, not like the Flex. But once you reach the funded account, you barely have some barriers or something to stop you from making it in the big, like making big money. So the Max is more fit to those professional traders, and the Flex for everyone else. Either you just started, or even if you're like you're trading for a year or maybe 2 years, and you want to test your skills.
That's interesting too, definitely. So different type of traders, of course, are going to be able to reach it differently, which is a good thing for sure. I noticed you probably have a lot of people who come to you trying to go from Forex to stocks. I know you do a lot of education on your website about kind of trying to make the move from either futures to stock or Forex to stock. How does that move happen exactly? What are the things people have to consider before they move to stocks trading?
Yeah, it's insane to see that, especially when now the future industry is getting a little bit bigger. A lot of the guys from Forex going into the futures industry. And of course, they're all, as traders, we're looking for opportunities. So The guys from the Forex will look for futures opportunities and also stocks opportunities, and the opposite around. And this is why we decided to go with it and actually educate the guys that coming from Forex about stocks, right? It's not really about shifting it completely and teaching the Forex side, but actually just, um, you know, opening the range of more opportunities and diversification for your portfolio. That's the main thing. So we teach them about the market, the U.S. market, how it works, and some terminologies that are different from the forex industry, and those elements. Once you're done with it, you can easily go and start trading, because at the end of the day, a chart is a chart. So you just need to understand the nuances of the market.
What do you think is the advantage for a forex trader to go into stocks? Not completely taking away forex, but kind of maybe adding stocks to the portfolio. What's the advantage of that?
Yeah, it's just more opportunities. At the end of the day, when you're looking at, euro dollar, right, and is moving small percentage, or maybe you won't find your best setups on the forex at the moment, today, this week, maybe even a month. You go to other markets where you have tons of other opportunities. We have 12,000 symbols. So, and every day, it's the stock market. So every day you got something, right? You got Tesla, you got Elon Musk is tweeting about Trump, and Trump is tweeting about whatever. And you always have some action and drama in the stock market. So that action will create more volatility, which you can eventually you know, take this opportunity to yourself. So in that regards, the more understanding about the market structures and about the other opportunities that are available in the world, you will give yourself more ways to operate and execute your strategies.
Definitely. I mean, for me, it's the trends. Being more of a swing trader, I think I like trends much more in stocks and forex. Forex tend to be a bit more sideways most of the time, so having good trends in stocks is definitely a big game changer for me. So, tell me about how would you recommend people to scale up their trading? Let's say they want to go start trading for a prop firm, because they got to get funded the first time, but how do they go about increasing that capital over time? Do they all add up into one account, or do they kind of break it down slowly over time, or how do you recommend them to scale up their account?
Right. So once they pass the evaluation phase to the funded phase, every time you reach a 10% of profit on your funded account, we actually create a new account, a new funded account for you, and give you more buying power to use and also more daily allowance to use. So the better you do, the more we give you and more access to capital, so you can obviously make more money at the end.
Do you see people having issues with scaling up, or is it pretty easy for them to scale up that way? Or do they have a resistance to move up in capital?
Yeah, you know what? It was a little bit of a surprise for us, but we see a lot of the funded traders actually reaching that 10% mark, and we increase their buying power and daily allowance pretty nicely, especially because we can see obviously for the last at least 6 months or so, the market, is going up pretty strongly. If you're taking out the first month of the year, so obviously, when the market is super bullish and super trendy, like you said, it will be much easier to just make more money on that, because the trend is very obvious. So a lot of the guys that are in the funded stage will reach the scaling point as well.
And are they able to buy other accounts on the side to increase that scaling faster, or do they have to go with the model of increasing every 10% their account?
Yeah, so the scaling is every 10% for each account, but have you can definitely create few funded accounts or get few funded accounts and trade, either copy trade between them, depends on the size of the account, or if not, just doing different strategies. Um, Most of our funded traders will have at least two accounts. For example, one he will trade the opening bell and will look for breakouts, and on the other one you will trade the lunchtime or some reversal at the end of the day. So they will switch between the strategies and the risk management, but most of them will have at least two accounts, because once you proved yourself that you can make it, and after you took some payout, you can go again through the process, pass the evaluation because you're already familiar with everything you need to know, and it's easier to become funded again.
So one of the questions I get a lot, people always ask me is, how do I make sure I don't go over the risk limit of the platform? Like they have maybe a daily drawdown, then maybe a maximum drawdown. How to make sure I don't reach that drawdown with my trading? Do you want to share some advice on how to not kind of reach that maximum drawdown on the account?
Yeah. So the first thing, like I said, the pace got to be slow, right? The market will be here tomorrow. Just take your time and wait patiently for the right setup. That's one thing. Second thing, not using the full buying power, right? You don't want to go all in at once. In most cases, it won't work. So that's a second super important one that I see traders fail because of that. So just one chunk at a time. I actually have a great example from one of our funded trader. I did an interview with him. It's on our YouTube, and he took the full structure of the risk limitations, the risk rules, the max drawdown, everything around it, and he put it through ChatGPT. And together with him, he it, it both of them worked on that, on creating a risk management plan. It was amazing. He showed me that. It was incredible. So for every trade that he took, he knew exactly how much he's going to risk, what will be the maximum size between the entry, the range between the entry and the exit, the take profit he needed, the number of trades he needed to do in order to reach the profit. It was incredible. So definitely use that. That is a great solution, and uh, that could help on that regard. Um, I will add one more thing on the psychological aspect of it. A lot of the times when I see traders that will go through the evaluation and will fail, and only after that will pass, they will tell me, the guys got funded, they will tell me that during the first evaluation, they weren't focused on trading, right? Because they were sick, or maybe they moved to a different apartment, broke out with their girlfriend or whatever it is. The focus wasn't on trading. So once you do that, once you focus on trading, the process, the real trading, then you will see success.
I know some people don't like ChatGPT and AI for some reason, but I think a lot of the math of trading can be done with it, and kind of you get some clarity out of it. So it's definitely a good example you shared of how you can do that. I really like it, and also, yeah, taking your time, not rushing to it. I think that's also definitely a good one. In terms of strategies, do you see people have a preference for trending versus reversals or breakouts, or is it more like everything mixed and people are getting good results with all of them?
I see most of them are trading reversals. A lot of our guys really love to short penny stocks. So, they're waiting for the pump. It reaches a certain major resistance level. And from that point, they're looking for the pullback or for the reversal. And so I see a lot of those things. And when it comes to large cap, it will go with actually breakouts more than reversals. So you will see Apple or Nvidia or Tesla is trading, creating some small consolidation, and from that they will jump in for the next breakout.
I mean, we talk about the risk, but the other thing is also the profit target of that evaluation. How long do people typically take to reach that profit target on their account?
Right. So those that reaches, it takes the average is 7 days. Obviously, we got guys that did it in one day, and guys that needed a month to complete the evaluation. But typically, the average is 7 days. I mean, the market gives you a lot, especially these days. The market gives you a lot of volatility, a lot of opportunities. So if you really focus and you got the strategy or the idea of what you are planning to do, you should be fine with it.
I mean, it's good to see a platform that's targeting stocks, because I know like we said in the beginning, there's pretty much none of them out there, which is really cool. I've searched for them so many times, trying to look for one for my students or even for myself, and I couldn't find any except yours, which is kind of surprising, but that's definitely a good thing. Cool to see you guys have been in the game for quite a while too. Tell me what are the goals? What do you want to expand with this? Are you trying to achieve something specific, or what's the overall goal with Trade the Pool at this point?
Yeah, we have, a big roadmap for the next 6 months, and obviously a good few years that we're looking to accomplish. Yesterday, I sent an email on our newsletter and actually gave those topics. What are we planning to do this next 6 months at least? And the main goal when I'm looking, 3-5 years from now, the main goal is really to dominate and change completely the trading industry, the retail trading industry, or as we call it, the home-based traders, which like we had before when we started to trade, right? That was the beginning of the online brokers and all of those things, right? You started to trade from home instead of calling your broker or your bank. You actually could click the mouse key and create your order. And then there was the revolution of the commission-free trading back in 2020 or so. So that was incredible change for the whole industry, right? All brokers became commission-free trading, and we really see ourselves right now as the next revolution in the trading industry, which is the limited risk trading. So from now on, you don't need to risk your capital, your savings, in order to really trade big with enough capital that will worth your time. When I first started to trade, even when I traded every single day, at the end of the day, I made $200, or at the end of the month, I made $200 right at the beginning of my trading with $10,000 in my broker account. And it wasn't worth my time, at least back then, because I spent thousands, not thousands, but hours on hours every single day in order to perform better and all. Now, if you pay $100, you get $25,000 of buying power. And even if it will take you 5 times to pass the evaluation, so you will pay $500, it's still worth your time and your money instead of putting the same 5,000 or 10,000 or 25,000 in your broker account. So we're literally seeing it as a revolution, limited risk trading, no more risking your capital in order to trade.
Where do you think prop firms are going? Because it feels like especially in Forex, a lot of the prop firms, they have the same rules now, they have the same terms. They're trying to beat themselves on the pricing, which is very hard to do for sure. How do you think prop firms are going to differentiate themselves in the future?
The difference between those prop firms should, at least in my opinion, should come from the value to the trader, right? So if you can provide more value, whether educational content or community or stuff that related to the trading platform, right? If you can give the trader more tools to manage his risk or create automations, anything that you can do. And this is something that we stick with from day one, and also our parent company, the Fibers. From day one, we are looking at the trader, because we are traders, we are looking at the traders as those guys. What can we provide those guys in order for them to perform the best possible way? If other companies will do that, it will be incredible for the industry, and that will be the game changer, or the shift between a company that offers 90% discount on the evaluation, comparing someone that you will know you will pay the right cash for, and you will get lots of value, and you will also know that you will get your payout at the end of the day because it's a legit company.
Tell me where people can find you or connect with you or try out the prop firm, and when can they start?
Yeah, for sure. So we are TradeThePool.com, all social media, YouTube. We have a live YouTube channel that we run every day. We just increased the number of hours as well, so you can literally trade with us. We have a huge community on Discord as well, Instagram, Twitter, and you can send me an email straight to me. Maybe it will take me a minute to answer, just because I'm in a meeting a lot. But besides that, Michael at TradeThePool.com, feel free. I love to get emails from all of our traders, and just to keep contact with them, and get some feedbacks. We always listen to the street in order to create a better solution for them.
Yeah, I'll put a link below. People can reach out to you and, of course, try out the prop firm there directly. YouTube channel also is a good source of information. We'll put the link for that too. people can reach out to you and watch your videos there too. And Michael, I appreciate the time you gave for the listeners here. It's been pretty insightful. Look forward to see where you're going to head up next in the next 6 months and more. And we can definitely talk more about trading next time.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Etienne. And good luck, everybody.